Picture this. You add a new feature search module, everything type checks, and the JVM test suite is fully green. You ship with confidence. Then you run that exact same code through Kotlin Native for iOS, and every single test in the module fails. All 17 of them, ranking tests and component tests alike. Nothing in the business logic changed between platforms. The crash comes from 3 characters buried inside a regular expression, \PL. This episode is commit 2782310, and it is a compact, brutal lesson in a place where Kotlin Multiplatform's promise of one codebase quietly breaks down. The Regex engine is not one shared implementation across targets. It is different engines wearing the same syntax, and Kotlin Native's engine does not speak Unicode property escapes the way the JVM's does. Here is the exact line. In feature search ranking.kt, the file that ranks indicator search results. It is a top-level property. Private val word zarg separators equals rexx brackets char \pl \pn ampersand close bracket plus quotes. In plain language, split the label on anything that is not a letter, not a digit, and not an ampersand. \PL and \PN are Unicode property escapes. L means the Unicode general category letter, N means number. On the Java virtual machine, java.utdo.regex is built on the full Unicode character database, so \PL happily matches a letter in any script, Latin, Greek, Cyrillic, anything. That is exactly why this line compiled and passed on the JVM without a single complaint. Now run the same suite through IOSimulator ARM64 test. Kotlin Native's Regex engine is not java.utdo. Regex, it is a separate implementation, and it does not support the \PL and \PL and \PN Unicode property character classes. Constructing that Regex object throws immediately, before a single test method even starts. And because word aspirators as a top-level val, Kotlin evaluates it as part of the file's static initializer. A throwing top-level val does not fail quietly. It takes the entire file's initializer down with it, as a file failed to initialize exception. Every function living in that file rank, indicators, browse sections, match tier, all of it becomes unreachable for the rest of that process. All 17 feature search tests failed on iOS in one shot, for one bad character class 3 characters long. Why did nobody catch this before merging? Because feature search's earlier iOS build predated the module entirely. This was the first time feature search ever ran on Kotlin Native. The whole verification pass before this commit was JVM only, run the JUnit suite, watch it go green, ship it. The JVM's lazy property semantics made the bug invisible too. A top-level val on the JVM initializes on first access without wrapping the whole file in the same all-or-nothing contract that Kotlin Native applies. Same source line, same Kotlin syntax, 2 completely different runtime behaviors. That is the sharp edge of Kotlin Multiplatform. Shared source does not mean a shared standard library underneath. Regex is common Kotlin API on paper, but the property class subset it actually accepts is a platform detail. The fix deletes the regex entirely. Instead of splitting on a compiled pattern, a new function called label words runs a manual character scan. Walk the string one character at a time. Append into a string builder while the character is a letter, a digit, or an ampersand, using Kotlin's isLetter and isDigit functions, and flash a completed word whenever a separator character is hit. IsLetter and isDigit are plain Kotlin char functions, implemented consistently across every target, JVM, Kotlin Native, JSS, with no engine-specific character class syntax anywhere underneath. The call site inside matched here barely changes. Label.split of word as the characters becomes label words of label. Same tiering logic, same word boundary semantics. Zero regex surface left for two platforms to disagree about. After the fix, the feature search suite runs clean on both targets, 11 ranking tests and 6 component tests, 17 total, green on the JVM and green on iOS Simulator ARM64 test. Nothing about the ranking behavior changed. A query like inflear still matches HICP inflation through the same word boundary tier. It just no longer depends on a regex feature that only one of the two runtimes actually implements. The bigger lesson generalizes past this one file. Any top-level val in shared Kotlin multiplatform code is a landmine if its initializer can throw, because Kotlin native turns a local failure into a file-wide outage. And any regex with Unicode property class escapes needs an actual run on Kotlin native before you trust a green JVM checkmark. 3 characters \PL took down all 17 tests in a module on one platform while looking completely fine on another. The fix was not clever. It was a 15-line character scan that removed the platform-dependent surface altogether. That is commit 2782310, fix feature search crash on Kotlin native iOS, drop \PH regex, check it out yourself with git checkout 2782310 and read searchranking.kt end-to-end. The whole fix lives in one file, 26 lines added, 3 removed. Subscribe for the rest of this build-in public series. Every episode is one real commit from this Kotlin multi-platform app, bugs included.